In the quiet village of Humming Hollow, where the trees whistled in the wind and birds sang in perfect harmony, for children dreamed of making music that could move the world. Their names were Ella, Toby, Samira, and Miles. Together, they called themselves the Melody Makers. Every summer, the village opened the doors of the School of Sound, where children could learn to play musical instruments. It wasn't an ordinary school, it was hidden inside a giant hollow tree, and the leaves above acted like speakers, spreading music across the land. Each child had to pick their instrument for the summer. Ella, graceful and precise, chose the violin. Toby, full of rhythm, picked the drums. Samira, calm and thoughtful, took the flute. Miles, wild and adventurous, chose the guitar. Their teacher, a cheerful man named Mr. Reed, greeted them with a twinkle in his eye and said, "This summer, your goal is to learn a very special song. But be warned, it's called the Stubborn Song for a reason. It won't be easy." The next morning, the room buzzed with excitement and confusion. Ella's violin squeaked. Toby hit his drum so hard it bounced off the floor. Samira's flute sounded like a hiccuping goose. Miles couldn't remember which strings were which. They all stared at each other. "We're awful," groaned Miles. "I want to give up," sighed Ella, cradling her violin. But Mr. Reed simply smiled and said, "Every master was once a beginner. Don't fear mistakes, learn from them." So the Melody Makers tried again. Day by day, note by note, the music began to take shape. One afternoon, Mr. Reed handed each of them a piece of sheet music titled The Stubborn Song. It looked simple. But when they played it together, nothing matched. The rhythm was off. The melody tangled. Notes clashed. Frustrated, Toby threw down his sticks. "I practiced. Why is it still wrong?" Samira sighed. "I'm trying my best, but the notes just won't stay in my head." Mr. Reed gathered them close and whispered, "Music is more than practice, it's about listening, adjusting, and most of all, persevering." He tapped the tree trunk, and out came a sound, ping. Even the best instruments are silent without patience and persistence. That night, the children returned after hours, hoping to practice secretly. As they played, slowly, carefully, the tree began to glow. Leaves shimmered. Roots pulsed with rhythm. They realized the School of Sound wasn't just magical, it was alive. And it responded not to perfection, but to progress. Ella corrected her squeaks. Toby softened his beats. Samira breathed evenly into her flute. Miles focused, one chord at a time. Together, they listened. And for the first time, the song began to work. On performance day, the village gathered beneath the tree. Parents, squirrels, owls, even the wind itself seemed to hush in anticipation. The Melody Makers took their places. The first note rang out, clear, strong, and true. Then came the next. And the next. The stubborn song flowed from their instruments like magic. It danced through the air, wrapped around hearts, and bloomed into something unforgettable. When the final note ended, there was silence. Then, thunderous applause. Mr. Reed wiped a joyful tear. "You did more than play a song," he said. "You learned the power of perseverance." Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye.